Ladies, stop punching men during y'all's argument.
I abused my husband.
My ex-girlfriend physically and sexually abused me.
Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Rachel Daniels. So today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic, but a silent topic. It's actually a topic that most people don't really talk about. So we'll dive right in. So when we hear about the word domestic violence, what comes to mind? What comes to mind is that a woman is being abused, right? Which is not out of place because women are mostly the victims to domestic violence relationship. But the real truth is that men are also abused. Yes, you heard me right. Men are also abused, but they rarely talk about it. They just keep silent. Anyways, I've put together some video clips where women confess to abusing their men, and also where men talked about them being victims of domestic violence. I'd like you guys to sit glued, watch this video to the end. At the end, I'll come and give my opinion. And if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that. So see you at the end of the video.
I abused my husband. I pushed him. I screamed at him. I yelled until my throat was sore and all the neighbors knew my business. I would get in his face, curse him out, slam doors like it was my full-time job. And every time that man would build me up, once I started to learn his pattern, I would take so much advantage of the love that he would give me. It's the love that I wanted. Girl, I wanted to feel that love. I wanted to soak it up before it disappeared. But I should have left. I should have left, but I stayed for me. Not the family, not that lie that I told myself for years. No, I got addicted to that fucking buildup. I threw words like daggers. I belittled him. I mocked him. Like, I didn't just react. Sometimes I went straight for the throat. I would interrupt him. I would talk over him. I would make sure that my voice was the loudest in the room. And the moment that I recognized his patterns, I should have left, but I was wrong for staying. I didn't try to break the cycle of abuse. I kept that shit spinning. It wasn't okay. It wasn't healthy, and I have to own that. Because even if I was reacting to him, I still crossed lines that I knew better, that I knew I shouldn't have crossed. He's not the only guilty one. Reactive abuse is still abuse.
We can't even call the cops. I was the one who's...
Sadly, stories like this are all too common. So common for me that it actually happened back in 2013, 2014. My ex, the mother of my oldest child, she started getting violent and abusive to me when she fell pregnant. All of a sudden the hormones changed and she just became this crazy, controlling, vindictive, emotionally abusive, physically abusive, just monster. 2014, when I broke up with her, I was going to move out. My daughter was about 9 months old. And I was packing up my stuff in my room. She came home from work, burst in the door, and started screaming at me whilst my 9-month-old was on the floor. She then started proceeding to push, punch, slap, scratch, kick, all the rest of the things, whilst my 9-month-old was on the floor behind me as I was trying to, stop her and calm her down. I then pick up my daughter whilst she was on the floor screaming, trying to calm her down, whilst also trying to fend off my ex, and she kept going. I then took her out to get her a bottle, settle her down because it was about nap time for her, and then all of a sudden there was a knife sitting on the bench. My ex, she lunged at the knife and I pushed her away. She then ran into the bedroom and proceeded to call the cops, said that I bashed her, and then locked herself into the bedroom. Cops come, I walk out the front. I was calm throughout this entire thing. Cops come, I walk out the front, I greet the police officers, I talk to them and say, hey, this is what's going on. I'm prepared to remain calm and talk rationally and all the rest of the things. I want to make sure that this is aired out because what happened is absolutely fucking bullshit. And then the cops took her side. I'm the one who got arrested. I'm the one who got taken to Southport Watch House. I'm the one who got put on a good behaviour bond, all because she started a fight with me and I defended myself to not get stabbed. I then had to go do a men's behaviour change program to prove to the eye of the courts and to the police and everything that I was safe for my daughter to be around. This story is super fucking common. I've coached a couple of guys through domestic violence scenarios, and it's always about cover your tracks, cover your ass, make sure you've got things in documents, make sure you've got evidence, make sure you've got everything, because the fucking system is out to get you as a man. And this isn't some victim piece. This is a almost survivor piece. This is a piece of power, because men need to know what they're up against when it comes to females and the law. You're going to get fucked over. If you are a straight white male in the Western world, I don't know what happens in America, but at least in Australia, you're going to be fucked by the long dick of the law. And they're going to take her side, not your side, even if you're the one to call the cops and to say, this is what's going on, my ex or my partner is abusing me, she's physical with me, or financially abusive, emotionally, whatever it is. They will take their side. So much so that one of my clients actually went to the police station to lodge a DV claim for his ex because she hit him and in front of their children, and screamed at him and all the rest of the things, and they laughed at him. Be safe, man. You need to look after yourself. You need to protect yourself, and you need to make sure that you have screenshots, text messages, call logs, voice recordings, as many things as evidence to prove that you are safe, that you're not the one in the wrong, because it's the way that we got to do it. Thankfully, my story has a happy ending, unlike so many others. I have full custody of my daughter. I have no idea where my ex is. I keep getting little updates here and there that she's incarcerated in and out of prison somewhere in Australia, and everything's all good for us. We're happy, we're healthy, and we don't have to worry about any of the traumas of the past. We've each gone through counseling. We've each gone through a bunch of other modalities to make sure that we can integrate and heal those parts of ourselves from our past, as I hope all of you guys out there do. This is one of the major reasons why I'm a men's coach. It's one of the major reasons why I help people and just give as authentically and as vulnerably as possible, because stories will help transform lives. My story of success might be the thing that helps another bloke or another woman go out and get the help that they need to leave an abusive relationship. You're not alone. Look after yourself.
Hey, do you know what a catch-22 is? That's where you can't win no matter what you do. It's kind of what guys face in the world of domestic violence these days, because on the one hand, we're told, never hit. Got that. That's good. Number two, if you get hit and you go to defend yourself, you now become the abuser because, well, you're bigger than her and you should be able to protect yourself. So if you hit a woman, you're either a pussy, because only pussies hit women, or B, what kind of a weak man are you that you have to hit a woman to feel strong? But if you're defending yourself, we don't really care.
Ladies, stop punching men during y'all's arguments, okay? It goes for both genders. Never did I ever say that a woman shouldn't be held accountable if she is also abusive, if she is physically abusive to a man. No, it should be the same thing. I was just speaking on all the women who have been abused without being antagonized. You know, they weren't provoking a man. They were just simply abused, because these men do exist. Let's not act like they don't exist. So I was speaking on that because, you know what? It shouldn't go unchecked. But it's the same way for both sides. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe anybody should have to put their hands on anyone. That's just the type of world we live in as human beings. I'm all for the law. I'm all for, domestic violence coming to an end, because at the end of the day, it's not funny. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are making jokes and light out of it like it's funny. It's not funny to get beat. It's not. So women, be careful, because apparently men are complaining that y'all are doing the same thing as well. So if you're a woman, be a woman, stand on that. Don't hit no man. Don't put yourself in a man's position. Period.
My ex-girlfriend physically and sexually abused me. I felt helpless because I couldn't tell anyone, or I would get made fun of. I no longer can engage with anyone sexually. I've also been in an abusive relationship. Being in this type of situation, it is extremely helpless, especially when outside people looking into your situation like, oh, you're letting a woman beat on you? Are you weak? And that's not the case, because in my opinion, I was way stronger and I loved her more to know I would never put my hands on you in that way. To this person, I say, don't hold yourself back from eventually finding someone that loves you unconditionally.
So this is my opinion on this video, right? And I will just break it down into pieces, right? So men, the way men are wired or the way men are raised, they are raised in such a way that they are expected to be strong, they're expected to be bold, they're expected to be in control. So when they come out to say that they are being abused, they are being seen as weak. As a result of this shame, they decide to keep silent. And also, we find ourselves in a society whereby women get more of the support. When a woman comes out to say that she's been abused in her relationship or in her home, people will rally around her to look for solution. There are helplines she can actually call, but to men, these lines are not available. This support system is actually not available just because they expect that they can handle their situations themselves. They are strong. How can they come out and say that a woman is actually abusing them, And as a result of that, it makes them just keep silent. Now, there's also the stigma that comes with the fact that when they come out to say that they are being abused, people quickly dismiss them to say, it's not true. They don't really believe that men can be abused, and as a result of that, they die in silence. They keep everything they are going through to themselves, and then it leaves them very, very hurt. We want to know that abuse is abuse. It doesn't really matter the gender. Abuse is not a gender, it's not gender-based. So the same support we give out to women who are abused in their homes, so also we should also try as much as possible to give that to men who are also abused. And we should stop the stigmatization of saying that men are weak or they are not man enough. That is why a woman can actually abuse them. I know the worst part of abuse, right? The worst part of abuse is that it does not really leave a scar. It does not really leave a scar alone, in your body or physical scar. It actually affects the person's mental health. It actually affects the person's self-confidence. It affects the person's self-esteem. And what's more, it actually affects the man's ability to trust again. And most men have decided to remain in a violent relationship, in an abusive relationship, just because they fear that if they begin to speak out, they might lose their children, or they may begin to, their reputation would be at stake as to the dent it will bring into their reputation. And also they feel that if they come out to speak out, they will not be taken serious. So men, please, if you're going through this type of relationship, forget what the society expects, forget what the society thinks about you. You need to speak up. You need to find help where necessary. And you are not weak to speak up from being abused in your relationship. You are just being human. Anyways, this is my own take on this video or on this topic. Do not forget to drop your comments in the comment section below. Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share and like as well. Till I come your way again next time. Bye for now.